All right, chapter 20. Conscience is the best guide and experience the best teacher. Nature is the best book and life the highest form of schooling. Death is the great graduation day. Study itself is not enough, for learning without application and practice is futile and leads towards wickedness. The man who studies the sacred books as a child and applies their teachings to his life is like one who works with metal while it is still hot. The man who leaves such study until old age is like one who works with metal when it is cold. Study, when not combined with work and practice, tends to lead towards the path of weakness. Unless a man is engaged in a skilled or useful occupation, all his book learning serves little purpose and does not avail him much. Therefore, even the man most devoted to the study of the sacred books must also learn a skilled or useful occupation. Practice is of greater importance than study, for of what use is it to study the way for goodness and being willing to do good if experience of what constitutes good living is lacking? The good life is a life of action and not a life of passiveness. Yet study and learning are not to be neglected, for they are part of the discipline of living. Without the study which leads to knowledge, right living and right action in their fullest expression are very unlikely. In your absorption of knowledge, consider nothing impossible and nothing beyond achievement. Bear in mind that whatever is possible will one day come into being. The road to wisdom begins in attentive silence and passes through study and practice into fulfillment. A teacher's words should be goads to goodness and learning, and not like a salve to the wounds of wickedness or a necrotic deadening the instructive pains of life. As the herdsman's goad directs beasts and urges them along the right road, so should the teacher's word direct and urge the pupil. Words of worth do not fall softly. A teacher may have a pupil wait upon him and attend to his needs, providing it is regarded as an opportunity for training and teaching. The teacher who fails to set a good example or to abide by his own teachings is unworthy of his position and betrays his trust. The man who quietly carries out the precepts of the sacred books and upholds their teachings is better than he who studies diligently and teaches well, but fails to put his teaching into practice. A hypocritical teacher is the lowest order of hypocrites. A disciple is one who follows a religious master, and it is better to be the disciple of a wiser man than the master of others who are ignorant. Always seek self improvement and advancement in knowledge, for these are the justifiable aims of the disciple. The man who is diligent and careful in his studies, but not in his deeds or words, is a weak character who tends to hypocrisy. The man who learns but does not practice what he learns is like a man who labors at the sowing but does not reap the harvest. He is like a man who digs a well and never draws water. The purpose of learning is to know the good from the bad, the beneficial from the harmful. The good and beneficial should not be scorned, whoever dispenses them. Would you take poison even if offered by your best friend, or refuse dressing for a wound because given by an enemy? The man who is filled with learning and knows all the wisdom of the sacred books but fails to put it into practice is like a many branched tree with no depth of root. The wind blows and it is laid low to quickly rot. The man with much learning and knowledge but no strength of character is like a frail pot filled with precious liquid. It roughly handled, it falls apart, and it's shit. Sorry, and the contents are lost. Good has its fount in the divine, and at its source is uncontaminated with evil. It is that which harmonizes best with the divine design, and evil is that which harmonizes least. Good is absolute quality, while evil is not. Therefore, even in the greatest concentration of evil, there must be some good. So there is no form of evil, whether in man or outside of him, from which some good cannot be extracted. But man, by nature, tends to overlook this. Entrapped in matter, evil is more easily seen. Bear in mind that in even the greatest evil, there is somewhere a speck of good which can be of service if extracted. Finally, if seeking a religious master, be careful in your choice. In matters of religion, the whole forces of evil are marshaled to deceive and delude. If one whom you would choose as a master seeks popularity or self advancement, avoid him like the plague, for he is a false prophet.